Hey everybody, welcome to Brunch with the Band here on Anna Maria Island Radio. I'm your host Gary from the deck at Perico Island. Brunch is almost ready, so pull up a chair and join us. It's time for Brunch with the Band. Our guest today is a singer-songwriter and primo guitar player, as well as a videographer, Rick Scatino, or as we all know and love him, Kid Conch. Hey Rick, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Gary. Thanks for having me here.
So we were just sitting here talking about when actually we met Rick. We met him a couple years ago, 2.5 years ago actually, out at the Sandbox out on Anna Maria Island. And since that show, Rick has pretty much been just all over the place.
It's actually only been a year and a half.
Is that all, a year and a half?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Oh wow, time flies when you're having fun in paradise. Actually, last year then, it was last summer that you did your big nationwide tour.
Yep.
You went, you left here, and where'd you go?
I drove up the East Coast, did a few gigs along the way, and then a bunch of shows in New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and then from there I went through Pennsylvania, Tennessee, stopped in Nashville for about a week, did a big show in Kansas City, and then headed south, went to Louisiana, Texas, Arizona, stayed in California for a month, and then a month-long trip back I made with my friend Charlie Imes.
Damn, you got just about every place, huh?
Almost. I didn't get to the Northwest.
Well, there's
really,
always this year.
Not much in the Midwest. You know. Yeah. Well,
And then
I'm being so new at this, only, like I'd say, a year and a half into it.
Yeah.
I have, reasonable expectations. It's nice to have, a little bit of an audience in the Northeast and in the Southwest, and some fans along Arizona and Texas, and of course Florida.
So that was about a 5-month, 9,000-mile trek. That's the Conchmobile got a workout.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and thanks for helping me build that deck in the back there.
Rick, right before Rick took off on his little quest, we had a Conchmobile, which is his traveling vehicle. We had a little party in the front yard here, and we did a deck on back of it so he could park all of his stuff underneath and keep it safe. After your trip, you ended up back in Key West.
Yeah, Meeting of the Minds, is kind of the Mecca event of the year for trop rock, and so I went there. I stayed there for the winter. I was actually there for 6 months. Man, it flew by. So now I'm here, back on this island for a month and a half or so.
Oh yeah, you're back out at Anna Maria Island, prepping for this year's tour. Cool. What's on the agenda for this year?
Pretty much the same route. It's going to be very similar to last year.
Cool.
Going up the coast, spend some time in the Northeast, head across country. It's probably going to be, a few weeks shorter. I'm leaving late June, right around summer solstice.
Are you taking a Conchmobile, or did you go ahead and buy one of them 55-foot motorhomes this year?
I considered that. Somebody actually offered to rent me one.
Was that Willie Nelson's? I saw Willie Nelson's van is for sale, available. Is that the one you're going with?
No. I reconsidered. It'd be nice to have luxury and a kitchen and fridge and bathroom with my own stuff in them, and not have to constantly load it in and out of people's
and the stripper pole in the back. But then you got all them extra people you got to pack around now. I could see why you'd want to just stay with the Conchmobile. It's tried and true.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot cheaper. In fact, I'm even thinking maybe get something that's even smaller with better mileage, because if I save $300 on a trip, on a long trip, say $300 in gas, that's a lot of money I can spend on motels.
Stay away from the stripper poles. You can save all that money.
Right.
So one of the things I always ask everybody when they come into the show is, tell us, how did you get started?
At the very beginning.
In the very beginning.
I'll try to keep it short. When I was in grade school, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, I did the usual kiddie lessons, a little bit of violin, hated it, a little bit of trumpet, liked it a little bit more, put it aside. And then one summer, I discovered rock and roll music on the radio, and it was like probably the Jackson 5 and the Osmond Brothers and stuff like that. I was in 5th grade, and I heard those guys singing, and I'm like, wow, that's what I want to do. So all summer long, I was like listening to that stuff and singing along, and just a little kid, But that year, when I went back to school, in music class, at the end of the first music class, the teacher pulls me aside and she goes, "What happened? You used to sing so nice." And I just went choop and shrunk like 5 feet, I didn't sing again until I was in my 40s.
Oh, wow.
But when I was 12, I moved up to New Hampshire, and a kid moved in next door to me that played drums, and he had been playing since he was like 7, so he was actually pretty darn good. And I used to, sit next to him, play guitar on his BB gun, and play along to Steve Miller tunes and stuff. And I spent $25 on a guitar, and I started. I very quickly, picked that up from a book that my mom had laying around. It had like, she'll be coming around the mountain and on top of Old Smoky and stuff like that.
Little easier to bend the strings on a guitar rather than a BB gun. I could see where that'd be a real problem.
Yeah, right. And so my mom and stepdad at the time, saw that I seemed to be serious about it, so they got me some guitar lessons with a guy in the neighborhood, and that's how the guitar thing started. So I did that. I've been a kind of a hired gun guitar player until about a couple of years ago, when I decided I need to do my own thing. When you're in a band, you spend thousands of hours. At least I do. I'm really hardworking, and you spend thousands of hours learning songs and practicing and rehearsing and getting a show down, and then the band breaks up.
Yeah,
and it's all a waste of time.
Yeah. Do you remember one of the first songs you learned to play on not BB gun? No, you actually played it on the guitar.
The guy's name that gave me lessons was Dick Norton, and he was into Louisiana swamp music, and a guy named Tony Joe White, who
famous guy.
I recorded Poke Salad Annie, which was the first song I ever learned. And he also taught me, that's what he wanted to teach me. That was his specialty. So he taught me a bunch of this, kind of Louisiana swamp style rock stuff.
Poke Salad Annie, you guys, you just did a version of that last year with Mike Mankum.
Right. Yeah, and it came out really good. I'm really happy with it. But I brought a song to the table. It was, I think, "Take the Money and Run" by Steve Miller was the first song I decided to learn, which he helped me learn.
Cool. That's another classic.
And that was, 1974, 75, 76, somewhere in there, 75.
Wow. That's great. Did you, and then it took a little while before you started dabbling in writing songs, or did you jump right into it?
No, I didn't start writing songs until the mid-'80s, and I was just basically coming up with some music and working with people that sing to, come up with lyrics. So for the most part, that's what I did for many years, is, helped, collaborated with, lyricists, singers. First song I wrote was a few summers back. I had been traveling around the country, but not doing my solo thing. So I was in San Diego, I was here in Florida, I went up to Cape Cod. While I was up there, I wrote a song called "The Sunny Side of Life." It was the first song I'd ever written all by my lonesome. And it actually has some traction.
Oh yeah.
Rotation.
Yeah, we've heard that one. Appreciate being able to hear it. I remember, then, if it was only a year and a half ago, we remember one of the first songs that you were really getting into, and your guitarism. Guitarism, is guitarism a word? The surf thing that you were doing, which kind of brought us all back circled, being from out west in Nevada and the old California surf days. Your surf song just knocked our socks off.
Nice.
Here we go.
It's pretty epic.
We're sitting out on the deck today, and we can hear one of the airplanes going over. I think they get into a holding pattern until we get out on the deck here and start to start to record, then they all line up and come straight through. So we won't let those guys bother us. If you hear in the background, it's no big thing. We're used to it. But anyhow, yeah. Can you pick us a little song here, just so everybody can kind of get a feel of what kind of music we're talking about?
Absolutely.
What are you going to do here?
I'm going to do a song called "Come Take My Hand," which
that's a Kid Conch classic.
yes, one of my favorites, that's for sure. And it's actually co-written. I have a songwriting partner in San Diego. His name's Jim Connors. He's in Carlsbad, actually, and he came up with the idea of the song "Come Take My Hand," and then I kind of made it into a trop rock song. We'll go sailing in the sun, drift on the water, count the islands one by one, etc. And I came up with the verse idea of, actually, I won't go into the details. But anyway, so Jim Connors, and then when I was on the road, I stopped in Pennsylvania, stayed at Danny Hoy's house for a few days, and she contributed to it as well, and we recorded her vocals. It's actually a duet now. And then as I was on the road, I finished up the song and released it when I got just before Meeting of the Minds. I released it.
Cool. It's amazing. It's amazing how you can take a song, change a few lyrics, and it becomes a trop rock song. Kathy and I went to the Sarasota Folk Festival here at the end of the summer, or actually this spring, and all the music that we're down there listening to, and they're going, "Oh, this is all folk music." And I said, "Yeah, but if you were talking about sailing and beaches and boats, it would be trop rock music. It's exactly the same music." Mm-hmm. Only they're singing about pine trees and squirrels and stuff like that. So it's amazing how the basic music it really transcends both genres. That folk music and trop rock is very, very close to it.
Make sure I shut my phone off here.
Oh yeah.
I have it. Actually, it's sitting on the seat of my car.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Come take my hand.
Geese.
Those are geese?
Those are geese.
They sound like they're talking.
Canadian gray geese.
All right, well, this one's for you, geese. Come take my hand. We'll go sailing in the sun, drift on the water, count the islands one by one. Come take my hand. We'll go sailing in the morning sun, drift on the water, count the islands one by one. I remember the first time I saw you. You were standing there sparkling like the water in a Caribbean sunset. And I remember the first time I met you. You had those smiling blue eyes, and I just wanted to scuba dive in. So come take my hand. We'll go sailing in the sun, drift on the water, count the islands one by one. I remember the first time I touched you. Your skin felt softer than the downy feathers of an angel's wings. And I remember the first time I kissed you. Even over the fireworks in my mind, I swear I could hear the angels sing. So come take my hand. We'll go sailing in the sun, drift on the water, count the islands one by one. When I'm with you, I feel waves of love crash over me. salty air. Smell the sunlight in your hair. I want you everywhere I wanna be. So come take my hand. We'll go sailing in the sun. Drift on the water. Count the islands one by one. And we'll drift on the water. Count the islands one by one.
All right, and this is the part in the show where all the little girls in the audience, little girls? All the girls in the audience go crazy, screaming, swooning. Yeah, it's just damn disgusting.
I like that about this island.
Oh yeah, well, it's not just this island. I've seen you in more than just this island, and it's the reaction is always the same. Oh, Ricky!
Tall tales.
Tall tales, yes, that's it. But anyhow, so I'm just sitting here. You're playing in flip flops. I'm sitting here in flip flops. Does life really get any better than this?
It does not. Period. It doesn't. This is heaven for me, man.
I mean, if a guy's got to get up and go to work in the morning, if you can do it in flip flops, it's just as good as it gets.
I could not feel more grateful and fortunate.
Kathy's working on her new hobby job. She's going to be the goddess of Anna Maria Island, taking the Segway tours around, and she was going out last week, and,
nice.
And I said, "You're wearing flip-flops. Are you going to wear those to go to work?" And she looked at me and told me, "Hey, if you can't wear flip-flops, it can't be a hobby job." So,
right.
It pretty much like this. Only you're lucky enough to actually be able to make a living doing what you love to do.
Yeah, well, playing music, especially early in my career here as a solo artist, is not a profitable venture. But I'm very fortunate to have people that believe in me so much that they've, donated money to Kickstarter campaigns and on the side and things to, keep me going through the tour last summer. Probably segues into the next topic we were going to go into about the video thing.
No, but the segue is a very good segue to be able to segue into your next little adventure here. Trop Rock Odyssey is your video series that you've got going. Why don't you kind of tell us about how that evolved and what it really is? A lot of people may not actually know what it is out there.
Yeah, sure. Ironically enough, it all started at the Sandbox here on Anna Maria Island. My first show there was with a friend of mine from San Diego. He came out to Florida, did a bunch of shows. Charlie Imes asked me to play guitar for him, and it's like, we're going to play at the Sandbox. I'm like, what's the Sandbox? So that was fun, and I met all y'all and fell in love with this place and whatnot. But there was an event there last winter called Jammin' at the Sandbox, where people came from all over Florida, musicians, and we all jammed for the day. And I decided that this whole house concert thing was just so cool, I wanted to document it and kind of just show people what we do. And so I filmed it all, and I sat down in iMovie on my Mac and made a little movie out of it. And I just fell in love with that process. It was just so much fun making that video that I got the idea to make more videos. So I was originally planning on just going to spend a couple of months in Boston and then a couple of months in San Diego and then come home. It gets really hot here in the summer, in case you haven't noticed. So I decided, well, why don't I just, if I'm going to drive to Boston, I might as well set up some shows along the way. And if I'm going to drive to San Diego, I might as well set up some shows along the way. And if I'm going to drive back to Florida, I might as well set up some shows along the way. So it turned into a nationwide tour, and I figured, why don't I, make some videos about it, So I it turned out to be, too much to really get a whole lot of video from the tour. Between touring and writing and recording, learning to record, producing my own CD, and on. I didn't get a whole lot of video, but when I got back, I started, getting serious about it, and I've put out 3 episodes since then of various events. One of them, the first one, being a show at the Sandbox by my good friend Danny Hoy. But I've fallen so in love with the video thing as much as I am with doing music that I decided to come out of retirement this year. Last time, or actually a couple years ago, I decided, I want to do music full time. I'm, tired of. I've been a marketing consultant, creative director, freelance guy. So I put that aside to focus on music, and lived on a shoestring budget since then. But the whole video thing has kind of brought me back out of retirement. And I recently landed a client in Maryland. It's a remodeling company, and we're going to do a series of videos called Animal Home Makeover. It's kind of like Extreme Home Makeover, except we're not doing it for families, we're doing it for animal shelters.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to go in and totally remodel the ASPCA of Anne Arundel County, which is near Annapolis, Maryland. And I'm going to get other contractors involved in that, and hopefully just totally spruce that place from head to toe, and then do that around the country as I go.
So keep our fingers crossed. Pretty soon we'll be able to see it on Animal Planet or one of those, where we can. Well, that'd be great. The Trop Rock Odyssey series. Is there some place that folks can that are listening in? Is there some place that they can they go get a peek at that?
Absolutely. You can go to troprockodyssey.com, or you can go to YouTube if you're a YouTube fan and subscribe to the Kid Conch channel. That's KIDCONCH. And it's also on Facebook. There's a Trop Rock Odyssey page there you can subscribe to, which I post fun little posters and things alongside the videos. That's where I spend a lot of my time, is on Facebook. But yeah, those are where you can find it.
Cool. Now,
what they are, by the way, is they're about 20 minutes average, and it's kind of a mixture of music videos, which I create from footage from the events that I go to, and some live footage and some behind-the-scenes footage, all kind of mixed together. It's a very unique experience. I haven't seen too much out there like this. It's like kind of really getting a sense for what the artists are really like, because we present the studio recordings as a music video, and then also what they're like live, and what it's like to be at the event. And it's really about the people that are in it, which makes it unique, I think.
Well, that's a good thing. We're Anna Maria Island Radio. Actually, our next step, we may be doing a little bit of video stuff too. So we'll keep in touch and let you know how that thing evolves. Maybe we'll have a spot for some of those to be on there. That'd be great. That would be another stepping stone for all of us. So
cool.
Anna Maria Island Radio is always growing. We've got dozens of things in the works right now. Some of them that aren't really quite ready to break loose and let everybody know about. But we have one event over Veterans Day weekend that's in the works right now that is going to be spectacular. It's going to be something really big, and we can hardly wait to get everything finalized and break it out for everybody. But I think everyone's really going to enjoy it. So. You got another song? Why don't we play one more song here while we're just sitting here relaxing?
All right. Might as well stick with the island theme.
Well, yeah, we are on an island.
So this is, again, the first song I ever wrote, Sunny Side of Life. It's a title track off my CD. Which, unlike a lot of artists, I don't... my CD's not out there on iTunes and CD Baby and Amazon.com. I kind of keep it close to home. I produce the whole thing myself. You can have it free if you get it from me. So send me an email or find me on Facebook or whatever, and let me know and I'll send it to you. But I consider them demos because I did them all myself. But this year I'm going to be working with experienced professional producers, and over time, working my way up the ladder. So here it is, Sunny Side of Life.
Feeling low, sad songs on the radio. I don't mind taking my time, just call me on the telephone. I'll ease your fears, wipe off your tears and put your hand in mine. We'll go sailing on the sunny side of life. Come on over, the weather's fine on the sunny side. Leave your sorrows tomorrow, sunnier day. We'll drink sangria and dance in the moonlight fireside. Dance until morning and sleep on the beach all day. When the weather's fine, you're on my mind. Girl, I'm never far away. So come out with me, day on the sea, and I'll show you a better way. When the tide is high, throw off my lines and take you on a getaway. We'll go sailing on the sunny side of life. Come on over, the weather's fine on the sunny side. Leave your sorrows tomorrow, a sunnier day. We'll drink sangria and dance in the moonlight fireside. Dance until morning and sleep in the hammock all day. Life's an hourglass, time slips through our hands like songs on the wind. Don't forget to take time to enjoy this life you've been given. Come with me, senorita, sail off into the wind. Find an island where we're all alone and we'll fall in love again. Come on over, the weather's fine on the sunny side. Leave your sorrows tomorrow, a sunnier day. We'll drink tequila and dance in the moonlight fireside. Love until morning and sleep on the beach all day. Love until morning, sleep on the beach all day.
That's a great, great, great song.